Hi everyone, welcome to the self-care series. My name is Mimi. Today I'm going to be showing you how to release some tension from the low back using chair yoga. So you want to grab a chair and you want to find a chair that's pretty sturdy, one that doesn't have wheels like a desk chair. And mine is backless, it doesn't have to be backless, you can have one with a full back. You will want either yoga mat or carpet or something that's not going to be slippery underneath your chair. As you can see, if I put my chair specifically, this one, it doesn't have any rubber bottoms on it, it will slide away from me. So for safety, you want to have something underneath. Some props you might want today. I have a yoga blanket. You can use a regular blanket or even a nice sized towel if you have one. I also have the option, you can use a yoga bolster if you have one. They're pretty sturdy and thick. If not, you can use a regular pillow from your bed. So those are just some options. They're not necessary, but you'll definitely need the chair. So when we're ready, we can begin. You can have a seat in your chair, and I just want to suggest something here for anybody who's a little bit on the shorter side like I am. I'm just turning my chair to show you, for example. So you want to have your feet flat on the floor. So if you're on the shorter side like me, if you're all the way back, your feet kind of hover around like this. And now if I fold forward a little bit, my feet do come down a little bit, but it's best if you scoot forward just a little bit so that your feet are already grounded. That way you're not going from a place up in the air. It just feels a little bit more stable already being on the mat here. So with our feet flat on the floor, we're gonna start in mountain pose in chair. So if you're familiar with regular yoga, this is normally a standing pose. Basically, you want to have both of your sit bones on the chair. Spine is nice and long, so we lift our chest a little bit. Our crown reaches for the ceiling. We'll take our hands down by our sides, palms face forward. And you can close your eyes here if you wish. We're just going to take a few deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One more round. Inhale and exhale. All right, so we're going to take some side bends here, trying to open up a little bit of the side body and that low back here. So you want to grasp your left hand on your chair, just for some support. My chair is a little bit narrow. If you have a wider chair, you may just place your hand on the seat of the chair. So left hand is on the chair. We're going to sweep our right hand up and start to lean over to the left here. You may want to bend the elbow if you need a little bit more room. Having your arm straight is going to be a much more intense stretch on the right side. And focus on rotating your chest up towards the sky a little bit, so like your left rib cage is coming around towards the ceiling. So you don't want to collapse in, you want to be rotating upward. And take a few breaths here. Inhaling, feeling that right side body expand. On your next inhale, you're going to come back up to the center and bring that right arm back down to your side. Right side this time, our right hand is going to be on the chair. We're going to inhale our left arm up and over. Make sure you bring that torso around. Breathe nice and deep. Inhale, come back up to center, bring that left arm back down. We're gonna do that one more time on each side. So inhale that right side up, and exhale, feel that stretch. Inhale, come back up to center. One more time on the left. Inhale the left arm up and over, side bend. You can look in either direction, whatever feels good on your neck. And we're gonna inhale back up. Have our spine nice and long here. We're gonna do some cat-cows. So cat-cows is just kind of bringing some extension and flexion into the spine. So we're going to take our hands onto our thighs here. You can have them about at your knees or midway up the thigh. If your chair has arms, this is actually a good time to have your hands on the arms of the chair for some support. All right, but either way, we are going to go ahead and we're going to go into cow first. So inhaling, we're going to start to arch the back. And we're going to, you can pretend like you're pulling your thighs in towards you or the arms of the chair in towards you. So from the side, it's going to look like this. So we're inhaling, arching the back. We're lifting our chest and our gaze up towards the ceiling here. And you don't have to force this. It's just bringing a little bit of an arch here. And then we're going to exhale into cat. We're going to kind of push away our thighs or the arms of the chair. And we're going to round through the spine. I'll turn here so you can see. We're going to round through the spine, tucking that tailbone, tucking our chin. You might feel this from the base of the skull all the way down into your sacrum or tailbone. Inhaling, we're going to come through, arching that back again, lifting our gaze. Breathe, exhale, round. Inhale, come through to cow, look up. Exhaling, rounding the spine, tucking the tailbone, pushing away those thighs. One more time each way. Inhaling, up to cow, Exhaling into cat. And we'll come back into our seat. All right. So we're going to come into seated twist. And this one's good to just kind of mobilize the spine a little bit, rotating side to side. For this one here, you can stay sitting facing front. I'll demonstrate that first. So you're going to take your right hand to your left thigh. Left hand's going to grasp around the back of the chair. You can grasp the back of the chair here or down, whichever's more comfortable for you. I like to grasp the top of the back of the chair. And we're going to inhale, get long, lengthen that spine, lift our chest and the crown of our head. Exhale, we're going to start to twist to the left and bring our gaze behind us. And you're going to imagine kind of wringing out through the middle, like you're wringing out a dish rag. And I'll demonstrate this from the side. Another option is you can sit on the side of your chair if you don't have any armrests. And you can actually just go ahead and grab the side of your chair and use that as a little bit of leverage to bring yourself into this twist here. Make sure your feet are flat on the floor. Inhale, come back to center. So now that I've kind of walked you through that, we're going to do this on the right side. So inhale nice and long. Left hand comes to right knee. Right arm is going to grab behind you, or you can go ahead and use the back of the chair if you're sitting on it sideways. Inhale, strong. Exhale, twist, and start to take that gaze over your right shoulder, and you might not go that far. You might just be looking towards your right, and that's okay. Take a few breaths here, inhaling, getting tall. Exhaling, see if you can take that twist a little bit deeper. And only go as far as you feel a little sensation. You don't want to feel any pain or pinching or tingling. Inhale, come back to center. We'll do that again on each side. Right hand to left knee, left hand comes to the chair. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, go ahead and twist. Looking over that left shoulder if you can. Breathe. Keeping that twist right in the middle of the torso here. You don't want to have it in the low back at all. Inhale, come to center. Left hand to right knee, right hand to the chair. Inhale, exhale, twist. All right, we're going to come back to center here on an inhale. All right, so now we're going to come into what's called pigeon. So I'll give you the first option here, and then we can modify a little bit. So you're going to bring your right ankle, cross it over your left thigh. Now you might have your leg high up like this, and that's okay. I want you to stay here and just focus on tilting the hips. So if you're here and you're rounded, focus on pointing that tailbone back a little bit so that your back straightens. And that way you'll feel a little bit in that outer hip and the glute area here. So just focus on that if your leg is really high today. If you're about right here, what I want you to do is kind of shift or walk your left foot into the middle just a little bit so it's a little bit more stable. Keep the right foot slightly flexed here to protect the knee. And again, you definitely don't want to be rounded here. You want to focus on pointing that tailbone back a little bit. And then we're going to do a forward fold here, hinging at the hip crease. We're going to fold forward. And only go until you feel that sensation on the outer hip and glute area here. So you might stay here. You might fold a little bit, bringing your arms down to your shin. And this is where your pillow or blanket might come in handy. So if you want, you can have your blanket folded. Bring that right ankle to the left thigh, walk it a little bit towards the middle. And you can bring your forearms here and hinge at the hips folding. That might be comfortable for you. You might take your bolster or your pillow across instead, or if you have both, you can absolutely stack them and get really comfy. I like to be super comfortable myself. So we're going to go ahead and fold forward here, get nice and cozy. You can bring your forehead down if you can. And we'll breathe here for a little bit. Make sure that you're not feeling any tingling or pins and needle feelings in your leg or your right foot. If you do, I want you to back off a little bit. When you're ready, inhale, come back up to sit. Move your props if you had them. And then you'll take your right foot back down. Left side this time. So left foot is going to cross over your right thigh. Take your options here. If you're really high up, stay here and just focus on tilting the pelvis a little bit and feeling that in the outer glute or hip. If you have a range of motion, you can go ahead and hinge at the hips and come forward using your props, or just stay sitting up. You take your option there. Remember, this is your practice. Only, listen to your body, only go as far as you need to. And breathe. Make sure you walk that foot in towards the middle just a little bit for some stability. And go ahead and inhale, come back up. Remove your props if you had them. And then go ahead and gently uncross that foot. Bring your feet flat back down to the floor. And you can kind of wiggle your legs out a little bit. Give the hips a break. That was a little bit of a deeper hip opener there. And then we'll come into our last pose, releasing this low back. We are going to come into a version of forward fold on a chair. So you can bring your feet out just a little bit wider than you probably had them to begin with. And again, hinging at the hips. So again, make sure you're in a nice stable spot. Your feet are flat on the floor. You're going to hinge at the hips here. Fold forward, and you can just keep your hands on your knees and fold forward. I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see a little better. Hinging at the hips. You can keep your hands on your knees here. You want to make sure your hips are staying on the chair. You don't want them popping up like this. So only go as far as you need. Again, you can also have your pillow, blanket, bolster if you want here. Forward fold. If you have the range of motion, you can come down. Now, when I say keep your spine flat, we do have some natural curve in our spine, so when you come down, you don't have to be super straight. There is going to be just a little bit of curve here when you come down. But you just want to make sure that your neck isn't up like this. You want to keep your gaze sort of neutral so that your neck stays in line with your spine. You can stay here. Again, if you want a little bit more, you can come down further. You can bring your hands down to your prop here, or even down towards your feet a little bit. This is a little bit much for me, so I'm going to keep my bolster. Breathe here. Feel that low back being released there, creating some space in the lumbar spine. Now, when we come back up, what I want you to do is if you're down here, I want you to bring your arms up towards your knees first, and then come up. So now we're in the seat here. You can kind of move around a little bit. Take maybe a full body stretch, whatever feels natural here. Feeling that space you created in your low back. And then when you're ready, you can bring your hands down to your thighs, fold them in your lap, and we'll come to our breath again. Close the eyes if you wish. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Two more breaths, inhaling, exhaling. Last one. When you're ready, you're going to go ahead and sweep your arms up overhead, bringing your hands to touch if they can. Exhale them down to your heart center, around your chest here. And slowly blink your eyes open. Thank you so much for joining me today, and hopefully your back feels much better. Namaste.